Hello everyone and welcome to this instalment of Burridge and Tom Rambling On. My name is Tom and as always I'm joined by my good friend Burridge.
Yes, hello, that is me. I hope you're all having a swaggers day. Thanks, Ice. In this episode, we'll be covering Spotify Wrapped Up.
Spotify Wrapped, you silly sod. Different social medias to the big boys.
Yeah.
And some other things as we find them scrolling through the Verge while we're talking about topics because we're terrible at being prepared.
The problem when you're both busy.
Yeah, I'm definitely busy. I'm busy searching for other employment. But we'll discuss that after the stream. So, it is that time of year again. We covered it last year, we'll cover it again this year. It's the time of year where you can get embarrassed by your listening habits for the past year. And yeah, that's about it. Spotify Wrapped did it. How bad was it for me this year? Well, so mine's a bit different this year because I stopped using Spotify about halfway through the year and switched to Apple Music. I can blame him for getting confused with Spotify Wrapped Up. He typed it. It's his fault.
I was doing it quickly, okay, because I realised it was blank.
But yeah, so my year in Spotify, if you're watching the stream, looked a bit like this. I'll read it out for anyone on the podcast. So, my top artists, I listened to 15,125 minutes of Spotify this year. My top artists being Muse, Imagine Dragons, Jesse Mulia, which is the lead singer of Waitress, the musical, Felix Hagen and the Family, another top one from last year, and Gale, the one who sang A, B, C, D, E, F, U, and that's the only song anyone knows by Gale, and it's the only song I've listened to by Gale. So I listened to a terrible amount of that song. So yeah, my top songs were Enemy feat. JID by Imagine Dragons, because of Arcane entirely, otherwise I wouldn't be listening to Imagine Dragons. My second most listened to song was A, B, C, D, E, F, U, Angrier Version by Gale. Good song, it's the one where they have all the naughty words. Third most popular was Playground from Arcane, and Warriors, the She-Ra and the Princesses of Power theme tune, and Dynasties and Dystopia from Arcane. So basically, the entirety of my playlist this year, or the entirety of my top songs this year, with the exception of Gale, has been driven by Netflix. Thank you, Netflix. Good on you, or something. But that's not all. Apple Music do their own version, and here you can see my stats for that. So I listened to a total of 16,710 minutes on Apple Music, bringing my grand total of listening up to 31,835 minutes of music, which is 530 and a half hours, or 22 days worth of music. Which is, you know, a bit. Just a bit.
Just a tiny bit, yeah.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? But yeah. So my most listened to song on Apple Music was You Stupid by Girl in Red. My top artist was Girl in Red, and my top album was Will of the People by Muse, which is quite impressive because that only came out in August.
It's a very good album, though.
It's a good album. It is a good album. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Hide those. Let me just grab the other images I have on my phone, and we'll have a bit more of an in-depth look at what I've been listening to.
Oh.
My top genres for Apple were alternative, pop, adult alternative, rock, and pop rock, so I'm about as vanilla as it comes. It's pretty good.
Well, while you're looking up other images, here's mine.
Oh yeah, it's just the same info over and over again, so yeah.
So, on my trusty phone here.
Oh, here
I don't know how clear it is on the camera.
Not very.
No. Okay, so none of the top artists are like any bands. None of the top songs are any bands. Top genre is lo-fi beats.
To chill / study to?
Only use Spotify for lo-fi beat. When I'm driving. So I don't really use Spotify otherwise. I feel like I need to use it a bit more. I've started listening to a D&D podcast, so I might use it on Spotify.
Is it Critical Role?
No, I watch that
Ah.
on YouTube generally because
It's
they
not
have the nice
Thursday
set
night.
pieces.
Sadness.
No, no.
Their
Although I
set
have
looks
watched
insane.
their new set is amazing.
Have you seen the
so-
behind the scenes video for it? The new
Of
set.
course, Thomas.
Okay,
I
good.
follow them since like Vox Machina days. So
Good.
I haven't watched the new season or anything because like it's so hard to keep up with Critical Role. Generally,
When it's like 4 hours a time every week.
so generally I watch their one shots they do, or basically their one shots and their fun games, their sponsored games.
Did you
and
watch
then I watch like breakdowns for the general campaigns.
the Battle Royale one shot they did?
Which one? They've done several.
They did one with Nate Stevenson and something. Hold on.
How long
Andy
ago was it?
Stevenson, Critical Role. It was on the new set, so it was quite
then
recent.
no,
Okay.
no, not yet. Like I watched, but anyway.
Guest Battle Royale, Season X and Episode 64.
Ah, right, yeah, no, I've not watched that yet.
So it's just like the only one I've actually properly watched. Because I don't have time to watch any others.
No, this D&D podcast is they're like 30 minutes to an hour long episodes.
Okay, that's not bad.
Of like silliness as well. It's just like a comedy sessions. Yes, so I've listened to a measly 8,058 minutes of Spotify.
Them's rookie numbers, son.
But to put it into context, though, because it's rookie numbers if you're just a general listener, but I generally... Yes, I have only used Spotify while in the car. That means I have been driving this year for 134.3 hours.
That's quite a lot of driving. That's a lot of fuel.
That is a lot. That's a lot of driving, which is 5.6 days worth of fuel driving.
Yeah. So I've just done the math. So my most listened to artist on Spotify, on Apple Music, sorry, was Girl in Red, of which I've listened to 3,514 minutes, or roughly 2.5 days. I'm nearly at half of your listening time just on one artist.
Yeah. But again, when you put it in the context of driving, that's a lot of driving.
That's a lot of driving.
Yeah, 5.6 days worth of driving. To be fair, I did do a lot of driving this year because we went up to Chesterfield, I've been up to Guildford, I've been
It's okay. Wait till we go on the lads' holiday next year where we rent a cottage and drive everywhere.
Oh.
I'll have the El Grand though, so everyone can get in the back of the bus.
Yes, I'll bring my car for the just for the sheer joy of driving that thing because it's amazing on a run. If I don't get a new car at some point in the next year or two,
Put the Civic in the bin.
So not in the bin, but just something higher up.
Still get something Japanese though, because then we can have Japanese cars.
Well, yes, because then it won't break down.
Or German.
There's a reason. Like, I've had my car now since 2015. It has yet to have a clutch change.
That's because I keep secretly stealing your clutch every night.
It's so I keep getting a new clutch. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I've yet to change the clutch, and it's done like 115,000 miles, and it's perfectly fine. So this is where I go.
Is it a chain-timed engine? That one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's why you won't have to do a timing belt change at 100,000.
Yeah. No, because it's a chain.
That's the good thing about an El Grand as well. Their chain times, because it's actually in a El Grand. It's the same engine as in the Nissan Fairlady Z, which is one of like the Nissan sports cars. It's the 350Z engine, same as
most modern diesels from like 2011 onwards, 2010 onwards are generally chain driven. Because the belts were, God, the squeal. Oh, the squeal on one when it needs doing.
And Vauxhall Mocha. I don't know if the Mocha is timing belt or chain. Belt or chain in my Mocha? Always a good question. You're not told us which engine this car has.
But The
Oh,
having
mine
the
has a
chain-
timing belt. My mocker.
Oh, can't wait for it to start screeching at you.
The 1. That's okay. I'm going to sell it soon, so it's fine.
Yeah.
The 1.7 diesel is belt, and the 1.6 diesel is chain. Interesting.
The 1.6 is probably a newer engine.
Yeah, the 1.7 was the original engine. The 1.6
the
came
old engine, yeah.
in the mid-series facelift before the X series came out. But yes, lots of driving. Skirt, skirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the next topic? Different social medias. Burridge, this is you.
Oh yeah, different social medias. Speaking of social medias, there you go. Spotify's technically a social media, right?
It's a music app, you silly sod.
Yeah, but you have a friends list. You can talk to your friends on it. It's a
I don't have
social
friends. Go away.
thing. So, with Twitter in constant turmoil these days, and with a lack of moderation with the mass layoffs at the company, is it time to turn to something else on your social media for your social media fix? I can't even read my own script.
Read is
The
not
short
easy.
answer is it depends. Because it depends what you use Twitter for. So in our use case, when we want to hit as many people as possible with our, content, Twitter is a good place to sort of post on because you get the eyeballs looking at it. Whereas if I started posting the podcasty stuff on Mastodon, for example, it probably wouldn't get as many eyeballs. Although I might start doing it just to see what happens.
Maybe.
As something to post, like on my account personally, just see if it gets any extra views and see whether that picks anything up, and then maybe I'll make a separate account because being as Mastodon is not like one central service. It's not as easy to have like a multi-account setup going on because you could have an account on a different server. So
it's the Bitcoin of social media.
Yes.
It's decentralized.
Although it is nice to go onto the Mastodon site, whichever one you choose, and for my tracker blocker, my ad blocker, to not have anything on it. It's a wonderful
feeling.
Wonderful change, yeah.
And wonderful occurrence.
Yeah. So where was I? Yeah, so I tried Hive at first. I tweeted out about this as well. However, even as I was writing this little bit, just to remind myself of what I wanted to say, it has no web app at all, so it's all phone-based or tablet-based, or however you access your stuff mobile-wise. I never really gelled with it. It was really slow, probably because lots of people were joining up to it, but it's still slow, even to the point where I then deleted it.
It's gone.
And I just didn't gel with it. However, there was also a load of controversy surrounding the owners and ableism. I didn't read too much more into that, but of course that's definitely a bit off-putting.
Into the bin with you.
Yes. Whereas Mastodon, I decided to try. And what I liked, like I just said, was there was no trackers, no ad block. My ad block had to do nothing. It was great. That's an instant win for me, in my opinion, because I love to go to a site and not... Like, this Google Doc right now, my ad blocker says more than 1,000 things are being blocked. I am blocking 39% of the page.
Oh yeah, 25, 31, 34, 40. Yeah, mine's going up. I just turned it back on.
Yeah, I am blocking like 39% of the page.
How?
So...
I guess it's just Google trackers.
Yeah, it's probably loads of tracker stuff. But either way, that's just... Ugh.
It's nuts.
It feels like a bit of a mix between Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. It's kind of a weird mix. However, it so far doesn't have the downsides, such as being owned by a large corporation. Like...
Down with the corpos.
It's effectively Meta.
Except for Amazon.
And now Musk. And they own basically the majority of the mainstream social media platforms.
We don't like corporations, except you,
And then-
Amazon, who's hosting this video on Twitch for us, and you, Google, who's hosting this video on YouTube for us.
But then again, Google as well is another big, company
Yeah,
who
but
owns.
they don't own
social
social
media
medias anymore because they closed Google Plus, and it's gone forever.
Yes, but YouTube is still
This
social. It's still a social media-y platform because you're sharing videos. Really, that was.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily like a true social media platform though, because you're not strictly interacting a lot with it. It's not the primary focus is to talk to other people or interact with other people. It's sharing content. I mean, I know that's what Facebook has become, but like the main idea of Facebook was, you can see what your aunt's doing, see who she's hating this month.
Yes, that is true. But in my head, social media is any platform that has a general
So based on that, anything that you can submit anything to is a social media.
Yes. Because technically it could be. In
I
the
mean,
most broadest sense.
I wouldn't class YouTube as a true social media. YouTube is a video hosting platform with social features.
Social media. No. You social media purist. No.
Well, yeah, but it's like saying, Google's a social media because I can look someone up on there. LinkedIn's a social media.
Guys, I've set him off.
LinkedIn is a social media, definitely.
Actually,
Reddit is a social media cross forum.
Yeah.
4chan's a mess. Twitter's a hell site, but it's a hell home for most of us.
It's a hell home.
Tumblr is just sat in the corner being Tumblr, inventing Goncharov. Go watch Tom's Tavern for that mess. That's just so weird, Goncharov, but damn, was it interesting to look into.
I have to watch that still. I've not watched
I got an
it.
hour's worth of content out of one Tumblr post that was just linking to like other info. Hold on, actually, let's have a quick look while you continue to talk about this.
Yeah. While I continue to be wrong about social media. Yeah. So it's like a mix between Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You're blind.
You go on AO4 and it's just 8 billion bright.
In summary, I like it as a great alternative to like the bigger companies. It has a more community-esque feel to it. I'm not a fan of the term Fediverse, though. Why does everything have to be a verse? Whether that's a metaverse, a Fediverse, or otherwise. Just
because they're not at the chorus yet.
We're not at the chorus yet. Ah, very good. But yeah, no, I think it's a good alternative, but it's probably used more by like the nerdy side of the internet because, it's a very open source platform where anyone can make their own Mastodon. Like we could make Bluetail.media a Mastodon server, an instance, and join the federated servers.
The Federated Alliance.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's now 804 entries on AO4 under the Goncharov tag.
Oh my god.
It's nuts. It's great.
But
I love it.
that was my little dive into
looking at other things.
Into looking at other platforms.
Well, should we talk about some actual news now, not just opinions?
Opinions. Yes.
Opinions of whether YouTube is a video sharing site or something it's not. I'm not angry!
I set you off and it amused me, so I'm happy.
I'm not angry. Grr. If YouTube was a real social media, I'd be friends with people on that.
Oh dear.
But yeah, so let's have a look at this. Eufy, a company run by Anker, the battery and charging giant operating out of Shenzhen, China, I think. Where is Anker from, even? No, not Anker Power Bank. I just want the company, you ding dong.
Burridge
Anker.
Cam is on. The star of the show is there. Thanks, kiddies.
Oh, God, Kitties is here in chat.
Anker's
Anker
fin
Innovations
funded ship,
Technology.
yes.
Yeah, Chinese electronics. Oh, it's based in Changsha, Hunan, China. I thought it would be Shenzhen, given that's where almost everything electronic is made. But yeah, so Anker, the company known for its battery packs, spun off a subsidy called Eufy, making basically competitors to Ring products with video doorbells, video cameras, etc. And it's found out that Eufy is uploading, against users' wishes, video data to a cloud service. But the best part is, it's completely unencrypted. I'm blind again because The Verge decided to undark mode itself. Yeah. So, according to Eufy's website, your data will be stored locally and that it never leaves the safety of your home, and that its footage only gets transmitted with end-to-end military-grade encryption. Right, let's just go on a little side thing here. Military-grade anything is always going to be the worst thing possible. Because if it's made for the military, it's done to the lowest budget possible. It is done by the lowest bidder. YouTube is not a social media platform. You ding dong. Go away, Keys.
He has a point.
No one asked you. Go away. But yeah, so if anything you see as military grade, that means it is built to the lowest spec possible because it's cheap. It just about scrapes by the specifications outlined by the military, and it costs next to nothing to make. Everything done on behalf of the government is done to the lowest bidder, so military grade encryption is probably terrible. Although saying that, that's probably true up until you start dealing with military intelligence. In which case, they don't contract out. Some of the best mathematicians in the world work for the NSA. Specifically on encryption. So the best cryptographers in the world work for either the NSA, the CIA, GCHQ, or any of the associated agencies in various countries. But yeah, and it will only send that footage straight to your phone. So it turns out, if you know the serial number of your camera, or you know, like its IP, you can just watch it with VLC from anywhere in the world. Which is incredible. So yeah.
Yeah. That's so bad.
It was brought to light by Paul Moore and a hacker who goes by Wasabi, named after the famous green horseradish involved in Japanese dishes. They alleged that Anker's Eufy cameras can stream encryption 3 through the cloud. Encryption 3? Encryption free through the cloud. So just by connecting to a unique address at Eufy's cloud servers with the free VLC media player. Good up.
So much for local storage.
Yeah, so much for local
your
storage.
eyes only.
You can even get an app version of Anker on your phone, so you don't even need a laptop or whatever to access it. Actually, do they still make an app? I think they do. I love VLC though. It's so VLC is the app you go to when you can't get. Oh yeah, it's on Android. Yeah, VLC is the app you go to that will open a dock and try to start playing a video out of it if you ask it nice enough. When you load in your HTML video and it starts playing Shrek the movie. Love it when that happens. Yeah, so when The Verge asked Anker to confirm or deny that that it is possible to view this, and Anker categorically denied it, saying, "I can confirm that it is not possible to start a stream and watch live footage using a third-party player such as VLC." That's Brett White, senior PR manager at Anker. But The Verge did their own testing and confirmed that that is a lie. And it is, in fact, just as easy as advertised online by Wasabi and Paul Moore to just access your Eufy cameras.
There you go. Yeah, they're not releasing exactly how to do it, which is probably for the best for a minute.
It's a shame though. If we reach out to them, we could get some cheap Eufy cameras and have like a good, easy camera setup. Have them stream straight into OBS.
Stream straight into OBS. Fantastic. Eufy, hit us up.
Eufy, we'll have some of your cameras for free.
Security flawed, your security flawed hardware / software.
We just have to power it down completely when we're not using it. Otherwise, people will be able to watch me watching She-Ra for the 10th time. Yeah. Wait, hold on. So, it gets worse. Eufy's best practices appear to be so shoddy that bad actors might be able to figure out the address of a camera's feed, because that address largely consists of your camera's serial number encoded in base 64.
Yeah.
The address also includes a Unix timestamp, which, you know, Unix time is constant. It's the same for every device. I mean, we're going to run out of Unix time soon if we're still using 32-bit Unix time, but...
Yeah, well, yeah, it runs out in
2028?
2028, something like that.
Yeah, hold on. When does Unix time run out?
Tuesday 19th, 2038.
Okay.
3:14 a.m.
I'm not going to be awake then, so that's not my problem.
Well, 3:14 a.m.
Oh my god. Plus a token that Eufy servers don't seem to be validating, and a 4-digit random hex code, which consists of 65,536 combinations, which when it comes to encryption is basically 3. Because that lower number, you want at least like 12 digits in your possible combinations for brute forcing. Or to brute force proof something. That's why like a random string of numbers and letters is a decent password. But they also say that the most secure password now is 4 random words selected from the dictionary. Because I guess the chance of brute forcing that is even more astronomical than brute forcing a random string of characters.
Well, yeah, because nothing randomly generated is truly random. Anyway.
No, even in humans, nothing is truly randomly generated. We still have biases towards things. Yeah. Like you asked someone to pick a random number. I think 7's the most prevalent random number from 1 to 10 amongst humans.
Ooh.
We are truly not a random species because we have tendencies. It's psychology. I'm not very good at it, but I understand the basics. I've watched enough Criminal Minds to know. No, but yeah. So don't buy a Eufy camera unless you want someone to see what your dog's up to, or whatever you're using it for. Hold on. Yeah. He claims that Eufy's encryption key for its video footage is literally just a plain text string ZX Security 17 cam at. And it appears in a GitHub repo from 2019 for the software.
Oh, you're joking.
Actually, that's the thing that some people do, isn't it? They go trolling through GitHub repositories for just API keys that people have pasted into their code. Because it's a good way to get free access to a bunch of APIs.
Yeah.
Smart idea.
Well, yeah, because those developers haven't used environment variables and files and then made it so GitHub doesn't upload those particular files.
Yeah.
Because that would be the secure way to do it. If you're using stuff like that, you put all your environmental variables, the ones that you don't want other people using, if it's like a software where you can run it yourself and you need your own, like database access, for example. Don't
practice better code security.
Yeah.
You absolute morons.
Or if you are going to have it in a PHP file, for example, like one of my projects, make sure the file you upload is like blank, or you put in like dummy data.
Yeah. Okay, so apparently
this particular file is localhost and then blank blank blank.
Apparently there's been an update that has made it harder to find the addresses of these cameras. But if you know the address of the camera, it still works. So yeah, that's
right. So it only makes it harder to find new cameras.
Yeah. They've basically semi-patched an exploit to find the camera address.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
But yeah, yeah. Don't buy a Eufy camera right now, or ever
No.
really. Buy very
Well, yeah.
expensive cinema cameras and use them as CCTV.
Yeah.
Yeah, just get a red weapon and use it to keep an eye on your front door or whatever.
I mean,
A $20,000 camera.
at the very least, you get a very clear picture.
Yeah. Cheaper. Get a Blackmagic Ursa 12K, because then you have 12K footage from your doorbell camera. Don't expect to be able to scrub back through it unless you've got like 100 terabytes of server space sat around. But yeah, and I've just got us one last topic here.
One little topic I added in at the end there, yeah.
One last. Sorry, have you added one in?
Well, I added.
Oh yeah, I've got another one. Then we'll do your one.
Okay.
Burridge, do you remember Lancia as a car company?
I do.
They're back, but they're only making electric vehicles.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So Lancia is owned by Stellantis, alongside Fiat, Chrysler, Citroen, Vauxhall, and Peugeot, or what used to be Fiat, Chrysler, and Group PSA. And it's being revived as an electric car brand. It'll be producing 3 electric vehicles between 2024 and 2028. The Epsilon, the Delta, and the unnamed new flagship. It's also getting a new redesigned logo, the 8th variant of the logo in 116 years. So this thing rebrands itself quite rarely, unlike Madonna, who rebrands herself every week. But yeah, so they've not got anything really thrown out in terms of that, but I just thought it was interesting that Lancia is coming back, because Lancia haven't made a car for a long time.
No, although the Ypsilon continues to be popular in Italy, and it was the second best-selling car there in 2019. So
let's go shopping. Should we buy a Lancia?
And
Fashion
it was
city
founded
cars.
116 years ago.
Yeah.
That's impressive, to be fair.
Old. Oh god, the Epsilon looks horrible. Or the Epsilon. That looks. It doesn't look nice.
So they were still making cars then, but they were only making the Ypsilon, it seems.
Yeah.
It looks like they weren't making anything else. Because, like, in 2021, they had a Ypsilon, like one of the pictures on the wiki. So they were still making cars, just not.
I think they were shuttered recently, and now they're back making another one. I don't know. Hard to tell. But Lancia Delta is like a very famous car. The Lancia Delta Integrale. Oh my god, was this dark mode thing go away? Oh. I'll tell you what, that looks
really
so
nice.
nice.
The Martini.
Yeah, the rally style car.
Yeah,
I tell you what, I looked at an auction a little while ago just because I saw that there was 50 Ferraris in the auction. I was like, I want to see what the guide prices are for this. There was an Audi done up in the same like rally scheme as that, with all the rally lights and everything. Guide price of £2.8 million.
Oof.
It was like the 3rd most expensive car in the list. The only thing that beat it was a Bugatti Chiron and a Ford rally car that was worth slightly more. But it was like, yo, this is kind of nuts. I'd love to get my hands on one, but I don't have £8 million up my arse to spend on it. So, but yeah. Anyway, that's all I have to say about the Lancia. Burridge, do you want to finish us off with the last little topic?
Yeah. So the last little topic, something kind of close to both of us, really, because we both watched it over the years. Together, at one point, we had a watch party at yours for the
karaoke night.
For the karaoke nights. Rip Twitch things.
Yeah, Rip Twitch things.
Of the best streams, to be fair. Jingle Jam, the Oxcast's yearly December charity drive, reached £1 million in the first night, which is 6 hours worth of stream, generally. That is the biggest opening night for them that they've had, especially since 2017. 2017 was the first and only time they reached $1 million in the first night.
Yeah.
But obviously £1 million is more. So
$1 million.
Yes. So I think They basically made nearly $1.25 million in the first night.
Yeah.
Which is impressive.
So far, £1.616 million has been raised by the Ogscast, and a further 312,000. Wait, no, 312,000. Yeah, 312,000 pounds has been raised by other fundraisers, including us over on Tom's Tavern. They've actually now passed the £20 million raised mark since they started the Jingle Jam.
Back in 2012, 2011?
2011, yeah.
Yeah, because it didn't start as Jingle Jam.
No,
it started as Feed a Cow for Christmas. And the bees.
There was the Honey Drive, there was the Dairy Drive, there was... Yeah, there's a lot of history to the Jingle Jam.
And then it, like, I think in 2016 was when they sort of just set on Jingle Jam, and then it just stayed as that for the rest of time.
Full story. It started. They were asking fans to donate to Oxfam via a Just Giving page instead of sending them Christmas presents.
That's right. Yep. Yeah, because the first couple of years, all revenue from the main channels were going towards the charity as well.
Yeah.
Whereas in recent years, they've made it better so that their content creators still get paid for all the normal money they make.
Yeah. Here we go.
But they also still raise a butt ton of money for charity.
Okay, so the first one was the Christmas Goat Giving Special.
That's right.
In which they raised £66,000. Then it was Honeydew's Honey Drive, where they raised just under £250,000. And then it was the Dwarven Dairy Drive, where they raised £700,000. And then Jingle Jam from 2014 onwards.
That's right. Yeah. I like what they've been doing the last couple of years, although I kind of wish they had a whole month for streams. But at the same time, I feel like the 2-week schedule does make less the stressful. Better. It's less stressful, and I find their content is generally better for the 2 weeks because they're not trying to... They're condensing all the awesome content that's normally in place in 2 weeks rather than stretching out across the month and then having all the filler streams.
Yeah. I do like that listed on the wiki. They've got the albums from Jingle Jam. So they've got Population U. With Pleasureville, Population U. Destination Drumpf and Neon Musk. Wonder what Hat Films' album's going to be this year.
Yes.
When is that stream, actually? That's Tuesday. I might have to watch that.
Guess whose day off?
Hey.
So I'll be watching that.
And then it's Feed a Cow for Christmas at 5 o'clock the day after. Can't wait for Feed a Cow for Christmas.
Well, I'll be...
They've actually achieved it the past few years. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm at work that night. God damn it.
Get right.
Oh well. It's fine. Yeah,
it's all good fun. It's all good. It's all good causes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they sold
the likes of Mermaids, Red Cross,
Dogs for Autism.
Yeah. Oh, that dog was cute.
Dogs for Autism, Huntington's Disease Association, the Special Olympics Great Britain, Wallace and Gromit's Grand Appeal, Mermaids, Kidscape, Whale and Dolphin Conservation, Special Effect, Reset, Campaign Against Living Miserably in November, and the British Red Cross this year.
Yep.
There's a lot of charities. They've sold 650,000 games since 2011. Through it. That's a lot of games.
That is a lot of games.
Still haven't played half of them.
No. Right.
But yeah, that is us all done for this episode of Burridge and Tom Rambling On. If you like what you heard and you want to hear more, you can subscribe to Burridge and Tom over on YouTube or follow our podcasts on your favourite podcast source. If you really like what you heard, then you can support us over on our forums. If you want to get involved with the community, you can join our Discord or tweet us on Twitter. The links to all these and more are available over at Burridge and Tom. As always, I've been Tom.
And I've been Burridge.
Thanks so much for listening. We'll be back next time on More Nonsense. Goodbye.